Okay, doke, super quick. I'm at work. It's about 1 a.m. I'm just about to get something to eat. But because it's quiet today, it's usually quiet on a Sunday morning, I've brought all my soldering equipment and drills and all my toolbox and everything to work, just so I can get this done. The last time I made one of these videos, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this in here and then do this and then do this and then it's done. It turns out, nah, because I put the fan in a place where I thought looked good before I realised, or before I even considered the switching system, it's just in the wrong place. It's about 3mm too close and about 3mm too high, and it's quite thick as well. So what I did was I ordered a new fan. It's has a slimmer profile by about 3mm, and also I'm gonna put it in last, so it's in the right spot. The lower is the same, although I have made some changes, and the back is completely different. Very quickly, let me just get a pointing device here. Alright, what I've done, focus, there we go. I've installed the switches. I've actually switched them around. So the middle one here, this is now the power switch for the fan, and this is, the on-off and reset and whatnot is still there. That's fine, and that's still wired up to the GPIO pins. This is now the 5V power switch for the fan. This here is for the SD switching card system, for the SD switching system, which is here, and I've adapted that slightly. I've desoldered the micro switch. This is never going to focus, but I'll try. Right, so there, I've desoldered the micro switch on the. Let's try it. One more try. Come on. Let's just do it on the plain background. Hang on. No? Close enough. Right, so those 3 pins, oh, there you go. There's 3 pins on the end, right? So I desoldered, took off the tiny little slidey switch. It was really small. Took that off, and what I've done is I've wired up these 3 wires. The SD part on the end is going to go into here, and it's going to sit on top like, essentially like that, right angle, which gives enough room for the CPU there to vent. These wires are going to tuck nicely underneath, and what I did was, down here I have taken a GPIO, a spare like header set, and what I did was I cut 5, so I cut 5 off, and then just removed the inner 2 to leave the outer 3, or the one in the middle and the 2 outer ones, so 3. And I've soldered that to the switching system, so I can have a removable, so I can remove the SD adapter, the switching system, as and when I wish. I'm going to put some, just some GPIO connector, like female connectors, and then the fan system here, I've soldered another pin on here, which is at a slight angle again, and what I'm going to do is put the positive on there and the negative to the ground, so I can remove that, so the whole top of the case can come off as and when I like, just in case I need to get to the 2 SD cards. Like, I've got a lower one. Oh man, the focus system on this. The lower one and the upper one. So there's the 64, there's the 32. It's going to be buried inside. I've also put in 2 drive lights as well. So this drive light is for the 64 gig and this drive light is for the 32 gig. Now they're not going to be on at the same time, but I just thought it would be nice. So the blue one is for all of the console stuff, and the yellow one is for the Amiga side, of the 32 gig side, because on the Amiga 500 and the Amiga 1200, the drive light, it looked orange over time, but that's only because it wasn't that, higher, there just wasn't enough power going to it. It was actually yellow, so I put a yellow drive light just for the Amiga. And then once that's done, I'm going to put the upper on, like that, and then drill the hole. Once the SD card system is in, I can see how much room I have to play around with, but the fan is essentially just going to go here, just like the other one, but I'm going to leave myself way more room in here, so it can still vent, and I've sort of crammed everything down that end. But then, once that's done, it's done, it's finished. Probably won't be tonight, probably be some point either tomorrow or the day after, or maybe even Monday, but I wanted to get it done this week because next week's going to be super busy. So yeah, alright, night night, peace.